Hi, welcome back to Investsphere Investech series, which is a knowledge platform, and today we are going to discuss what is mid cap and small cap and how it is placed in today's market. So you'll understand you should invest in a mid cap and small cap right now or to avoid. So let's understand what do mean by mid cap stocks. So as per recent guidelines by SEBI, the definition is 101 stocks to 250 stocks is called mid cap, and 251 to n number of stocks which is listed in NSE and BSE is called small cap. So if you see mid cap, whether this particular capitalization company is good for you, the basic knowledge is it is good because the mid cap eventually will grow to large cap, hence the potential is there. Similarly, small cap, obviously all the companies are growing and they have their future projections. So obviously small cap will become mid cap will become large cap. So large cap basically those who are top 100 companies in India by capitalization. So let's talk about high growth, which is very positive things for the investors. जो investors चाहते हैं बहुत परसेंटेज ऑफ रिटर्न, बहुत जल्दी रिटर्न मिले, तो वो लोग क्या करते हैं, स्मॉल कैप एंड मिड कैप में जाते हैं. देयर इज नथिंग हार्म. इफ यू सी कंपनीज लाइक बजाज फाइनेंस, दे हैव गिवन मोर देन 1000 टाइम्स इन लास्ट डिकेड, बट पॉइंट इज व्हेन टू एंटर एंड गेट दैट रैली एंड व्हेन टू एग्जिट इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. अगर आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा तो दैट इज ए प्रॉब्लम. तो फॉर द लास्ट 4-5 years इफ यू सी बजाज फाइनेंस का रिटर्न इज लैगिंग एज कम्पेयर टू अदर मिड कैप स्टॉक्स. सो आपको ग्रोथ के साथ साथ थोड़ा सा आपको देखना है कि मतलब विच इज फंडामेंटली एंड टेक्निकली. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट एनी फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस, शेयर रेशियो एनालिसिस एंड ऑल, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड वेदर टू गो फॉर इट और टू अवॉइड एट दिस टाइम. Let's understand what are the risk in small cap and mid cap. In small cap, if you see companies giving you 400% in last 1 year or 1.5 years, but at the same time there are a lot of companies those are down by 40-50%, 60%. But then you need to understand which stocks you should go for. So growth will not come with zero risk, So high growth means potential high returns. High growth means potential high risk. So that risk, if you are able to understand how to calculate those risks, then probably it will be a better bet to invest in those small cap and mid cap. But predominantly, if you talk about small caps are more riskier than mid caps are more riskier than large cap. So the growth potential obviously is there, but at the same time, if something goes wrong, whether it is related to market or their management or any technical reasons or maybe geopolitical risk, then these stocks will drag your portfolio down by much more percentage than the large cap. So in the risk parameter, if you see the financial stability, normally what happens, जब कोई छोटा कंपनी है तो they normally leverage their assets, so they take loans and they run the business. If everything goes fine, they get better returns because the promoter know like what is the margin in that particular business. But at the same time, whenever they are taking loan or they are issuing any debt like debentures, or some companies are selling their FDs to the public and getting money, right? So if something goes wrong, some economic downtrend happening or maybe recession is happening, so if that company is not having cash reserve to survive in those periods, it will be very, very risky. So these informations are available in public domain. So we need to understand, if you are not into research, then you need to talk to your advisors, those who are doing day in day out research activities on those stocks, and they can come up with data. So after understanding those data, you can go for these investments. Otherwise it is very, very, very risky. So financial stability is much more important because large cap, most of the large cap, they have cash reserves, they have more cash. Most of them, they are cash rich as well. They have very less liability, very less loan books. So mid cap and small cap, you need to understand from that financial stability point of view, which is very again risky. most of the times, if you see for the last 17-18 years, what I have personally experienced is liquidity is a biggest challenge. If you go for a small cap or penny stocks, right, for a purpose of like getting higher returns, and it is very affordable to buy. But if you are not studying the fundamentals, if you are not studying their books, you may be into trap. So in those trap you may lose huge amount of money. There are a lot of people are losing money. Entering is very easy, but getting out of those stocks is very difficult because of the liquidity issue in the market. So when you buy, somebody sold you, but when you want to sell, nobody is there to buy those stocks. So you have to be very cautious. What is the volume of trade in that particular script in the market, NSE, BSE. So you need to understand. If you are not understanding, then there is a biggest risk of entire money can get stuck. There are a lot of examples. Lakshmi Vilas Bank got bankrupt, but lot of I think more than 60-70% direct investors, individual investors lost their money because that company got bankrupt, right? But if you talk about mutual fund, in the fund manager having a good research team, they got out of at a slightly marginal losses, करके वो लोग निकल गए. But individual investor, because of lack of research, because of lack of information, because of lack of data, we lost, right? So it is good to avoid those scripts. I always give a pointer like risk of fraud. What is that risk of fraud is? There are a lot of companies, penny stocks. Those who are, there are a lot of front runners also. Those are running those scripts. Some brokers will come and tell you that this is the stock, available at 10 rupees or 20 rupees. You can buy this. This will go up to 100 rupees or any uncertain, you can say, targets they will give, and they will try to persuade you to buy those scripts. So what they do is, let's suppose they are giving you a script at a rate of 20 rupees. They must have given the same stocks to somebody at 5 rupees, and now that client wants to make four times, so they are selling at 20 rupees. So you got in at 20 rupees. So that front running fraudulent activity is happening by bulk deals. So once you sold or you bought, right, and then the crunches will be there because the number of stocks, the volume, as previous point I was talking about the volume. So in penny stocks or the fraudulent stocks is not having volume in the market. So you will be stuck in some time, not necessarily in the first deal or second deal, but obviously if you are continuing those deals today or tomorrow, you will be definitely stuck. So it is 100% no to those kind of scripts to go ahead and buy. Sometimes we have also seen because of the market sentiments, you have to change your portfolio. Let's suppose if everybody is talking about large cap is a safer bet at this time because of the valuations. So mid cap and small cap, obviously the valuation is higher than the average, but then if you want to go for a safer bet, right? So what you need to do is you need to focus on the sentiments. If market sentiments is positive towards a large cap, so then you should go ahead with the large cap stocks than the mid cap and small cap. Sometimes economic slowdown also comes in. Like today, if you talk about in most of the countries, there is a recession which is going on, and we are also getting hit by them. But sometimes, if you see in Indian context, the consumption story is good. So probably we are not into that situation, but it may happen. So it is always better to be on a safer side, right? So similar kind of growth you can get in large cap. So it is better to go for large cap. So what I suggest is like you should understand what is the theme. I mean, what is a sentiment of the market. So how you can save yourself, not by getting into any kind of stocks which is not good for you. So you need to check the due diligence part in that particular stocks. So इसलिए हम लोग बोलते हैं कि मतलब you should go through a research analyst, not like on your own you are going on investing. So when you go through a mutual fund, these risks are also getting minimized because of the research team. The research team is doing and checking all the due diligence, which is simple बातें हैं जो पहला तो management, the top management should be having good number of year experience in the same line, right? All must be educated. and then they must have a longevity, point of view से लोग कितना लंबा वो बिजनेस चालू मतलब रखना चाहते हैं. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मतलब लोग आएंगे, वैल्यूएशन बढ़ाएंगे और बेच के चले जाएंगे. So if you understand those due diligence, and then the process, and then the book size, then the debtors and creditors, then there are a lot of market factors also you need to check. So top down approach में देखेंगे तो there are a lot of filters you need to check. Before checking, you should not get into those stocks. So due diligence is much more important than anything else. The most important again is diversification of your assets. Diversification, I am not referring asset classes, I am talking about the only market cap in equity. So let's say the top approach is like diversification of assets in different asset classes, right? But I am talking about within equity, you should also diversify. How you diversify is again depending on the market and your thought process and your risk taking ability, right? So let's suppose today if you talk about we are asking 70 to 80% of your money should be into large cap because of the valuation. Now 15 to 20% should be into let's say small cap and mid cap. So within small cap and mid cap we are asking 5-6% into small cap and 16% or maybe 14-15% into mid cap. So in this way you can manage your assets in equity, within equity. And if you see there are free falls happening in mid cap and small cap, then at that time from probably large cap some money can be realigned and reinvested in mid cap and small cap. So diversification is the key. The old saying is like do not put all your eggs in one basket. That means you should not invest all your money in mid cap and small cap. So you have to diversify properly based on your age, based on your risk taking ability, based on time horizon, holding capacity. So all this depends, right? So for that you need to contact somebody who is the advisor, real advisors. So we do all the financial planning, we do all the wealth management activities. So A to Z in finance, we are there to help you out. So do contact us and do like, share and subscribe this channel for more informative videos. Thank you.